All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Glad you're with us. It's 8 a.m. Tuesday, December 9th, right here on Jocks. You can always be a part of the show on the Higginbotham hotline, 800-239-9569. You can also tweet into the show at Mac and Cube. We'll get to Andy Burcham here in just a moment. Russell Terry tweeting into the show at Cole Cubelic. Remember 3 weeks ago when people were texting and tweeting, complaining about the USF coach being on instead of talking college football playoff rankings? Life comes at you fast, man. There were a lot of folks mad at us that day. Whoops. Let's go to the Higginbotham hotline, talk to the voice of the Auburn Tigers. He joins us every Tuesday thanks to our friends at Craneworks. It's Andy Burcham.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah! The big dog's got it.
The voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham, on Mac and Cube in the morning is brought to you by Craneworks. Lifted, buy and rented, the big dog's got it. Now, Andy Burcham.
Andy, always glad to be with you. And, you know, we just visited with Alex Golesh. Not the first time we've had him on this show. First time we've had him on the show as the Auburn head coach. What has your experience been like conversing with him so far?
I've had 40 minutes with him in an interview that airs on the War Eagle Plus Content Network, and it was last Wednesday. Just had a chance to sit down and talk with him, and I've been a part of two press conferences, one before and then one yesterday, and then listened as you guys were talking with Coach Golesh here just a few minutes ago as well. And he answers every question. He answers every question with thought. And yesterday's press conference here, talking about signing day and staff and moving forward, was 50 minutes long. And he answered everybody's question, and there was not a throwaway question among those. I mean, there was thought that he gave about everybody's question. And that's the one thing that right now, and that's what I have to gauge on, I'm so impressed with how he handles just his press conferences and his interviews right now. And now the next thing is to complete that staff, and then obviously when the transfer portal opens officially in January, fill out the rest of this roster and get ready for winter workouts, and then spring practice at this point. But I've been really impressed with how he's gone about his business.
When you look at the job, and I asked him specifically, like, I think it's a tough thing to do, and it kind of gets overlooked by fans. It's like, well, here was a very popular candidate for the job, a guy that was endorsed by many, a guy that many people love and frankly still love in DJ Durkin. And all of a sudden you think, yeah, you know what? I'm going to keep him anyways. Like, I don't care. I think that says a lot about Golesh's personality and lack of an ego. Do you think that's a difficult thing to juggle when it's like, hey, this is the guy that some in the administration wanted to be the head coach, and then they changed their mind, went with me, and now I'm going to have to keep him because it makes the most sense, and I think he's a good coach. So I got to give him credit for that. What do you think?
You really have to thread the needle on a hire like that with DJ Durkin, because what he did this year for Auburn football was incredible, because his defense, for the most part, kept Auburn in every game and gave Auburn an opportunity to win all of those games. Now, did Auburn do that? It did not. But it wasn't because of the defense this season. And someone, not only, as you mentioned, that was popular here among the Auburn family, but very popular among the Auburn players, and that may be the most important thing. And not only on the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive side of the ball as well. And I thought really did a terrific job in his month as Auburn's interim head coach as well. I thought Auburn played better football. It won only one of those games, but it played better football than it had in the previous part of the season. All of that to be said, DJ Durkin is a very good defensive coordinator. And I think Auburn is fortunate to have him on this staff now as well. And you do that knowing that you're hiring someone or you're keeping someone as your defensive coordinator that was a candidate for the job that you now have, that was a candidate for the job that a lot of people thought should have the job, and you've kept him around. You've kept him on your staff because he's a really good football coach. And I think DJ Durkin wants to be a football coach at Auburn and live in this community and keep his family in this community. I think it says a lot about, and you know what, guys? It says a lot about DJ Durkin as well, because it'd be easy for DJ to go somewhere else since he didn't get the job as the Auburn full-time head coach here. So I think it says a lot about both of these men.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I want to fast forward and move into basketball. A tough outing for the Auburn basketball team against Arizona, but that group is for real. Maybe the best freshman in college basketball this year. Get Chattanooga at home on Saturday. What will you be looking for specifically within this team, this roster, just kind of how this team manages itself at Holiday Hoops Giving to kind of see if there's maybe a turn that they can find their way around, an obstacle that they can get over before that schedule ramps up again?
Yeah, it's Chattanooga Saturday in Atlanta, which has become a home venue for Auburn, to be sure. Auburn has played in this tournament or this game, this event, for several years now, certainly dating back to Bruce Pearl's time as Auburn's head coach. And it's where Auburn played in the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight last year, and that was a home court advantage for Auburn. There's no question about that. Chattanooga plays tonight against an NAIA opponent and then comes to Atlanta. This is finals week on the campus here at Auburn. So, as a matter of fact, Auburn had yesterday off and I believe has today off as well to get everything situated, give them some rest, let them get in the training room, works on bumps and bruises, perhaps to come in on their own to watch film. And then you get Chattanooga Saturday, and then another off week for Auburn as far as competition is concerned before it gets Purdue a week from Saturday. By the time that Auburn plays Purdue, it will have played three teams that would have been in the top one or two in the country. The first being Houston, the second being Michigan in Las Vegas. Actually, it'll be the fourth. And then last week, an Arizona team that is really, really good, and Pete is a terrific player. The freshman you're talking about, the three-time Arizona Player of the Year. And then you get Purdue. So that's three teams that have all been at least number two in the country, and some have been the number one team in the country. And then you get Christmas. You get Queens College or Queens University out of Charlotte in the SEC tune-up, and then you open the conference season on that first weekend to play at Georgia. So I think finals week comes around at a good time for Auburn, because it's you take a look at what Auburn has done. You played Houston in Birmingham, the three games in Las Vegas, which included Oregon, Michigan, and St. John's. You get North Carolina State at home, and then you're on the road at number two Arizona. And Auburn trails by 12 at the half, but takes an 8-0 run into the halftime. And coming out of the locker room, you get the ball first, and Arizona goes on a 16-2 run to start the second half and never looks back. So it is a tough schedule for this Auburn team, but I think this time of the year comes around at a good one for Auburn. Now you can concentrate for a week on classes, on getting healthy, and now get ready for Chattanooga, then another week before you get Purdue in Indianapolis. And that will be basically a home game for Purdue, because Indianapolis is about an hour and a half away from West Lafayette.
Andy Burcham joining us on the Higginbotham. Go ahead, Greg. You got it.
No, yeah. Andy, when you look at where you would like to see growth on the Auburn basketball team, what do you think is the number one all points bulletin for Coach Pearl as he starts to move into conference play a month from now?
Well, you take a look at the last two losses, and they're both lopsided losses to Michigan in Vegas, and then this past Saturday night in Tucson to Arizona. And in both of those games, those two teams did a great job of getting to the rim. And Arizona really outplayed Auburn on the inside on Saturday, outscored Auburn in the paint 60-24. And boy, that just doesn't happen very often. I think Auburn has to shore up its defense and keeping teams out of the paint. Now, part of the reason is those two teams are really good and really big and physical on the inside. The other part of that is when you get Purdue, and then, oh, by the way, when you get into Southeastern Conference play in January, a lot of those teams are good and physical on the inside and are going to be trying to get to the rim. And Auburn's got to do a better job of keeping teams out of the paint and playing a more, I think, playing a more physical brand of basketball on the inside. Listen, a year ago, you had Dylan Cardwell and Janai Broome. And even if the defense broke down and teams got by Auburn's guards, you still had those rim protectors to stop teams. Well, you don't have that this year. So Auburn, I think, has to be better at all five positions of keeping teams out of the paint than it was even a year ago, because a year ago you had Broome and Cardwell that could swat shots away, and you really don't have that this year.
Andy, we always appreciate the time. Always enjoy visiting with you. And you're brought to us each and every week by our friends at Craneworks.
And Rental Works offers a full line of rental equipment for any of your machinery needs. They offer operators for every type of equipment as well. They can supply the equipment you need, plus the man to do the job. Go to craneworks.com for a quote in Birmingham, Nashville, Mobile, and Huntsville. I hope you guys have a great week. Any plans for the weekend?
Plans for the weekend. I'll be in Charlotte for the schedule show on Thursday, coaching eight-year-old basketball Saturday morning, and watching Army Navy.
Play man or zone?
We will not play. We will not play one half of a second of zone defense the entire season.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Up in your face, man to man.
Heavy rotation. Kids get in, get out, and we are in your face. Because we don't know if we're ever going to get a shot off, but by God, we are going to rebound, run the floor, and play defense.
What about you, Mac?
I'll be at Disney World, so
There
I'm about
you
to have
go.
a week.
You're going to play man. You're going to play man or zone at Disney World.
Well, it's only my oldest two, so it's going to be one-on-one. Yeah, it's man. It's going to be great. The funny thing is, like, my wife is a thrill seeker. She wants to ride all the big roller coasters. I have zero desire to accelerate my inevitable demise and my inevitable mortality I'm not having a heart attack on a roller coaster. So I'm just going to chill, eat frozen bananas with my 4-year-old, and her and my 6-year-old can go rock and roll. I'm fine with that.
You guys have a good weekend.
Thank you, Andy. We'll catch up next week.
Guys, take care. War Eagle.
War Eagle. There we go. Andy Burcham joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, brought to us each and every week by Craneworks. Greg Hulsey tweeting in, All Barn Radio trademark. Hey, at least we got it trademarked.
We should have traded.
So we'll take it. We never talk Bama on this
Jeez,
show.
Cole, why you gotta
Never.
tilt the show so hard in one direction? It's like we had the head coach and the voice of the guy. It just so happened to be a couple segments apart. Goodness gracious, why are you trying to just be all Auburn?
We
Goodness
never
gracious,
talk Bama
Cole.
on this show. Not a single second.
Ever.
Specifically the entire show
I feel like
yesterday.
we never talk Bama. I'm mad about it.
Speaking of mad, you were mad a few segments ago. Maybe we need to bring that back up.
Was.
Speaking of Bama.
Let's go.
Get you back into that. And I teased something that I would highly suggest not doing entering these playoffs. We'll let you hear what that is instead of just telling you what it is next on Jocks. Greg, how would you describe Miami Edge defender Ruben Bane?
He's a bad man.
Ruben Bane this season, tackles for loss 7.5, sacks 4.5, can play down inside a little bit more, can get you off the edge. Preparing for this matchup that you will be on the call for, Trey Zune, Texas A&M offensive lineman, was asked about attempting to stop Ruben Bane and said this.
I haven't had the time to watch any film yet since it just got announced, but, I don't think he'll be a threat that we need to worry about too much. We have great players. We got a great offensive line, so we'll be able to handle him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, mama.
Now, everyone here has heard my philosophy, my take on bulletin board material. I don't think it's real. I don't think it is something that you can consistently have if that's what motivates you. Nobody's going to give that to you each and every week. It's not guaranteed. But there are certain other instances in which you have the option of whether or not to provide things like this to an individual who may want to go out of his way to try and find opportunities to embarrass you. And I would highly suggest that you avoid those moving forward. He's not the one for that, I'll just say.
Is it fair to say he's the most violent defensive end in college football?
He's up there. There's not too many other guys there's nobody who I would definitively put ahead of him. There may be a few that I would put next to him and say, let's have a discussion, but nobody who I would definitively say, yes, he is way ahead.
He's the most violent player I've seen. I mean, I'm talking violent. Like, kills tackles. And that's the funny thing is, like, you look at the numbers, and they're underwhelming. You would think, oh, gosh. And I was actually having this conversation. I was on the Move the Sticks pod with Daniel Jeremiah and
humble brag
and these guys, and they asked me a couple questions. A lot of their stuff is NFL-centric, right? They asked me the question, Greg, who's the one guy in college football right now that's not getting enough talk that should be top of list when it comes to impact in the NFL? And I said Ruben Bane. And they're like, really? He only has, 6 sacks or whatever, 5 sacks. I'm like, I don't care. Just watch him. Like, that guy is a plug-and-play 4-3 defensive end that will play 12 years. I told him, tell me if you like this comp. He's a little bit different in build, but he's Jonathan Allen. He just has a little bit more edge and not as much inside. That's how he plays, though. Like, his impact on the game is comparable to Jonathan Allen, where if Jonathan Allen's out there, you already know your defensive line is going to throw haymakers at the offensive line.
I mean,
numbers won't always necessarily reflect his impact, but you don't want to play him.
He belongs on the early 2000s Baltimore Ravens. Like, that's where he belongs. Like, that's
yes.
And they would just find a place to get him in there. He's kind of Courtney Upshaw-ish a little bit, maybe a little more twitch, like a tweaked up James Harrison maybe. He's very unique because, like you said, he can live on the edge, but very heavy-handed. A lot of guys on the edge don't like to play down the middle. He seems to enjoy it, and yeah, I don't feel like provoking would be intelligent. So there it is. But Texas A&M apparently
same page.
They got good players, and they're not going to worry about him. I would, but I mean, y'all didn't get SEC guys blocked up all year, so I don't know why all of a sudden you're going to get everybody blocked up this game. And sometimes you did, other times you didn't. I will tell you a guy who I've kind of started to fall in love with a little bit, that I have been venturing out a little bit more. Certified war daddy, Caden McDonald at Ohio State. 98 inside. He will legit throw haymakers. And when I say haymakers, like, he'll swing at your head when he's taking on double teams. He'll just club you in the middle of a double team, trying to get off the double. That dude is a war daddy. Like, you're not moving that guy at all. And that it's some of the other guys on that defense get a lot of publicity and a lot of chatter for good reason. That's the dude you don't want to mess with on that defense. Like he is looking to punish people on a very regular basis, and does,
Correct.
by the way, and does on a regular basis. So he's a dude that, just speaking of defensive linemen, that I've kind of been watching a little bit more outside the SEC, trying to focus in on some guys I hadn't paid a ton of attention to this year. Like that dude a lot.
Sure.
Big fan of his. But we did need to venture back to something else. And that is a conversation that got you a little heated earlier. We're going to do that in just a few moments. Before we do that, tell our listeners about Shannara Flooring.
Well, Fu and his guys have stockpiled a ton of inventory, 50,000 square feet of Core-Tech flooring by Shaw in stock right now. And if you look at the Core-Tech, the Core-Tech is that 20 mil wear layer, really nice, durable, dependable, hard-working flooring that's going to be up to the task and will bring value to your home or business if you install it. And no one in town has the Core-Tech that Fu has. So as a result, he's going to pass some savings on to you, especially here at the end of the year, of 20 to 40%. It's a deal that you just can't touch. So remember Shannara Flooring. When you want Core-Tech, call who? Call Fu at Shannara Flooring, 205-518-6423, or go online at fuandyou.com.
All right, when we come back, Greg will rant on your opinion of Ty Simpson right after this on Jocks. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is 8:30, Tuesday, December 9th, right here on Jocks. Listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. You can download that for free. Watch us live on YouTube each and every day. Search Jocks945 or tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill.
Bill Smith Buick GMC is the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. Just go take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll see what I'm talking about. The deals they have are off the charts, like a GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. It's a 4x4, really nice trim level. 67.7 is what you'd pay most places. Well, at Bill Smith, you can take $15,000 off the sticker and get it for just over $52,000. Deals like that keep people coming back. There's a reason why 75% of their business is repeat customers. That's because you have a remarkable experience when you shop with Andy Cole and Jonathan Yeager. Take that short drive up to Coleman. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's off the charts. I'm a repeat customer. My wife is a repeat customer. And I know you will be too once you go through that experience one time with the GMC Dealer of the Year, the national champion of GMC dealers. Take the short drive to Coleman, I-65, exit 310, Highway 31. You can also shop online, have it delivered right to your driveway at Bill Smith Buick, GMC.com.
So earlier in the show, if you missed it, we had a few callers asking how Ty Simpson could be repaired, how the Alabama offense could be repaired. And oddly enough, Steve Spurrier came up in back-to-back calls of his offense and his offensive philosophy and scheme should be reincarnated around Ty Simpson, and that some of his options of how to deal with pressure should be introduced to Ty Simpson. And then rotation at quarterback should be introduced to Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer. That worked for Spurrier for how good Doug Johnson was and for how good Nathan Peterman was and Noah Brandeis and Jesse Palmer. All the quarterbacks that ripped it up under Spurrier when they rotated. If I'm not mistaken, there was one point where he rotated in to send the play in, like every other play. He'd send the quarterback in with the play. Actually, I know I'm not mistaken. I know that happened. He would send the quarterback in with the play every other snap. Now, I don't know exactly how long that went for or whatever, but it doesn't sound like the best idea. But hey, you do your own thing. And Greg, you are a little frustrated with kind of where people's opinion is on Ty Simpson right now.
Well, extremely frustrated. Let me ask you a series of questions here, Cole. Where would Alabama be without Ty Simpson this year?
I don't know, Greg. Some people think
simple,
Austin Mack's the future or Keelan Russell's the future. And then he would have been ready after week 4 or 5.
Because of the stars. Is that why?
Talent.
It's because
you saw what they did to ULM?
He has the stars. Yeah, I did. I watched it. I think he's going to be a great player. I think Austin Mack's going to be a good player too. But answer me this. What is Alabama's record this year if Ty Simpson's not out there?
Probably not quite as good.
They're 117th running the football. 117th in college football running the football. Do you know how many yards they average before contact per rush?
I do not.
1 yard per rush before contact per carry.
So you're telling me Ty Simpson on 3rd and 8 is a familiar spot?
You think it's a good feeling as a quarterback to know when I hand it off and I watch Mark Ingram run into the hole, he's getting hit on 1st and 10 on average over the course of the season, unless he breaks a tackle, unless he creates a bunch of yards after contact, he's getting hit and we're playing 2nd and 9. Do you know how comfortable it must feel to, on 2nd and 9, say, gosh, let's get half of it back and make this 3rd down more manageable? Yep, there's my back again, getting hit. Now it's 3rd and 8. You think that's a good feeling? And against really good defensive lines, how many tackles are those defensive lines missing? Is Georgia going to miss a lot of tackles when you run it and you can only manufacture 1 yard before contact per carry. We have, do we not, Cole? Isn't there a guy on this offensive line that's supposed to be the greatest pick ever, top 2 pick in the NFL draft? Like, is that, and this is not necessarily, is there some blame to go to Ty Simpson with a slight regression in the last 5 weeks? Absolutely. Everyone is playing a hand in this, I might add. Everyone is contributing to the challenges of the offense's consistency. There's no doubt about it. I'm not trying to sit there and say that this is one person's problem or this is another person's problem or it's this or it's that. But if you'd like for me to go through some of the defenses that Ty Simpson has had to play the last couple weeks, they have Oklahoma, who's got 41 sacks. You got Tennessee, who's got 36 sacks. You got Missouri, who's got 35 sacks. I mean, you got defenses that are going to hit you and going to make life very difficult on you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very, very hard. And what's amazing to me is that a lot of people are continuing to just put everything on Ty Simpson. I went through it a little while ago, and Ty Simpson, from an off-target percentage in the last handful of weeks, is single digits. Do you realize how good that is? Okay, you're going to remember the misses. I remember them too. I've watched the game. Were there a couple throws that were missed in the game against Georgia? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Were there a throw or two? Was there a throw or two missed against Auburn? Was there a throw or two missed against LSU? Was there a throw or two missed against Oklahoma? Sure, of course. Do you know what the off-target percentage average is nationally? Over 11%. Which, guess what? To me, that's probably about right. About 11%. And a lot of the guys that are playing in college football this year did not face the quality of defense that Ty Simpson faced the last few weeks. I would go as far as to say there is not a guy in college football that had to play this caliber of opponent in the last half of the season. Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn, and Georgia. 5 of the best defenses in college football. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And Ty Simpson's off-target percentages in those games. Against Georgia this past weekend, 13.2. Not great, right? But it's Georgia. They're very, very good. How do you quantify Ty Simpson's performance against Georgia in the first game? Do you know by chance what his off-target percentage was that day? Oh, it was 13.2. The exact same as it was against Georgia. What do you think the difference was? The protection in this game was substandard. And the separation created by wide receivers in this game, very substandard. Do you know what his off-target percentage was against Auburn? Just curious, because everyone's talking about how, he's got the yips. That's what I've had people tell me that. He's got the yips, right? Guy can't hit the target. Do you know what his off-target percentage was in that Auburn game? 6.3%.
Seems good.
The Oklahoma game, he was a mess, right? Oh, it was totally on him. I mean, it's not like he was getting hit over and over and over and over again. No, it had nothing to do with that. You know what his off-target percentage was in that game? 8.3%. Oh, at LSU, they only scored 20 points. Gosh, it was because Ty. You know what his off-target percentage was in that game? Just curious.
6%.
8.8%. This guy is performing well above the national average against some of the best defenses in college football while getting absolutely destroyed on a lot of his dropbacks. He got hit against Auburn on nearly 38% of his dropbacks. Hit. I'm not talking about pressure. I'm not talking about on the plays that he actually avoided the pressure. He got hit on 4 out of 10 dropbacks. And mind you, there is no run game. Nobody is respecting the run. Did you see how often Georgia played with a loaded box? That'd be almost 0 times in the game. Why? Because there was never a threat of the run. Because Georgia felt pretty confident that they could stop the Alabama run game with their front four. And guess what? They did. So everybody that is pushing the blame exclusively on Ty, guys, take a step back and realize that as a quarterback, you cannot play the game by yourself. Does he deserve a few of some of the blame? Absolutely. Can he be a little more decisive? No question about it. Can he get the ball out just a hair faster in some cases? For sure. Can he make a slightly better protection adjustment so that it is blocked up a little bit better and your running back's not blocking a big or whatever it might be? No doubt about it. There's a lot of things he can do better, for sure. But to all of a sudden suggest that Ty Simpson is exclusively the problem, you are not watching the game. You're not. Either that or you don't know enough about football to make a comment about how the quarterback is playing. Can he play better? For sure. Will he have to? Yes. If Bama's going to make a run, he has got to play better. There's no denying that. But you know why he has to play better? Because he has to do it by himself. Because the threat of the run game is non-existent. You know how hard that is as a quarterback to drop back knowing the only chance we have to win this ball game is on my shoulders. You know how hard that is to know that, hey, we're playing great defense, guys. Don't screw it up, Ty. Don't turn it over, Ty. You know how hard it is to cut it loose under that circumstance when you're facing drop 7 every time? It's really hard. You know what's even more miraculous about this situation? When does it get more challenging to throw the football, Cole?
Inside the red zone?
And oh my gosh, does it not? Oh, right? It's a lot harder to throw it when that field condenses, right? A lot harder. Almost impossibly difficult to throw the ball with success and find the end zone when you don't have the threat of the run game there on every single snap. And guess what? Ty Simpson's not a runner, so they're not going to utilize a lot of design quarterback runs. Do you know what Alabama's touchdown percentage is in the red zone?
Oh, that's good.
Just take a guess.
Do you by chance know what, say, like the national leader would be? I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm looking for a reference point here.
Okay, well, I
on.
can give you
Red
that.
zone conversions, touchdown percentage.
Red zone touchdown percentage.
Whew, NC State, 80%.
Correct.
I feel like they'd be a little better. Georgia, by the way, number 2, 79.2%. I'm going to say Alabama is about 55%.
Alabama is 73%. I'm going to go through quickly
That's
the
number
top
11 in the
teams
nation, by
that
the
are
way.
sitting. Yeah, 11th in college football with no run game. Mind you, 0 run game.
Only 5 teams have more red zone touchdowns than they do on the season.
And let's go through them quickly, right? NC State, what do they have? Well, an ACC schedule first and foremost, and a quarterback that can run the ball. Georgia's number 2. What do they have? A great rushing attack. Number 3 is Utah. What do they have? A great rushing attack. Number 4 is North Texas. What do they have? An American Conference schedule. Number 5 is Washington. What do they have? A mobile quarterback. Number 6 is Vanderbilt. What do they have? A mobile quarterback. Number 7 is Arkansas. What do they have? Mobile quarterback. Number 7 is Memphis. What do they have? Mobile quarterback and an American schedule. 9 is Ohio. What do they have? Oh, I don't know. A MAC schedule. Number 9, tied for 9th, is South Florida. What do they have? Mobile quarterback. Alabama is the only team, in my estimation, in the top 20 that does not heavily emphasize quarterback run. So answer me this, everybody who's a quarterback expert. I'm just curious. Not trying to be like, I'm just trying to defend the guy. Alabama, and let me just put my crimson goggles on for a second. We wouldn't be here without him. We have no shot of being in the college football playoff without him. With the lack of a rushing attack and with a one-dimensional offense and with how much they're putting on his plate before the snap, we have no chance to be in this situation without him. And yet you want to yank him? You want to give him out of the game? Really? The guy's got 5 interceptions on the year. Yes, have there been some sack fumbles? No doubt about it. Should he be better in the pocket? Yes. Can he get rid of the ball faster? Yes. All those things are totally fair, totally honest. But we would not be here without him. I'm not sure they'd have more than eight wins without him. I'm not sure they'd have more than 7 wins without him. He got you here. You ride him the rest of the way. You just got to find a way to make him more comfortable. And I would argue he's probably doing a better job than you even realize. And some of the throws he executes, some of the poise he's displayed in 4th downs, you don't win the Missouri game without him. That 4th down throw on 4th and 8, not happening. So just because a guy has 5 stars, just because a guy hasn't disappointed you, doesn't mean you pull the plug on a guy that got you there. This is not a Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa situation.
There can't be real people that are saying, I mean, I understand some people like want to see things improve and want to maybe try something different. There can't be real people that are saying Ty Simpson needs to be benched. Like, surely people don't. That can't be a real thing. Did we not
just have a caller suggest that we?
No,
did we not just have a caller suggest that we have a short hook?
He was saying that they should rotate. I think he was going with the old quarterback rotation that always works. But
it's great. Yeah, Spurrier won how many titles? 1. Yep, good. Just making sure. What are we doing? Like, come on, guys. Like, take a step back, realize the challenges of playing against some of the best defenses in America without having any balance offensively. It is hard, man. It is really flipping hard. When you don't have the threat of the run and the safeties can play deep all the time and they can play 2-man. They can play cover 2. They can play quarters without the threat of the run game. And guess what? Without the threat of the run game, guess what also doesn't work very well? The play action pass. Oh, we have no deep ball. Well, I wonder why. Because if I were a safety playing Alabama, why would I bite heavily on the run? I wouldn't. I'm just amazed at, like, the problem with this team is they got to find a way to run the football, and it doesn't have to be elite. It just needs to be there enough just so that they have to respect it. And just so these pass rushers and or defensive linemen aren't going to sit there and say, hey, we rushed the quarterback on every single snap. Every single snap we're going pass rush. And we will stop the run and route to the passer. That's a hard thing to do as a quarterback. Why do you think he's getting hit and sacked 26 times this year? It's hard, y'all. So it means something to me because I'm sure at some point I was the reason for all of Alabama's problems. And clearly Ty is, in the eyes of many, the reason for all Alabama's problems, when in reality, Ty is the only reason why they're playing in this postseason. So he's going to get back. I have faith in him. I have faith in the staff. I have faith in them being able to right the ship. But it's going to come with a mentality and an attitude of, I don't care anymore. Just like it did after the Florida State game. I don't care. Say what you want. Think what you want. I'm going to chuck this ball into the tightest window possible because I know I can. And if he does that, this team will become extremely dangerous in the postseason. But it's going to require that switch to flip, and I have a lot of faith that it will.
All right, we'll continue the conversation. I need to know if people feel this way about Ty Simpson. I've not seen or heard this to this extent. And I know we got a couple calls asking questions about it, but if that's real, text in 205-834-9450, call in 800-239-9569. We'll move on to your calls, your feedback in just a moment. But first, Greg, if you're looking to move out of your house, who should you call?
Be Crocker Moving Services, a local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys. And you can trust them in your home. Leaders, your whole home packed up and moved. Company headquarters moved across country. Or you just want them to come rearrange your living room. These guys got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you've purchased and need to get to your home. So call or visit them online today for a free quote. The website's crockermovingservices.com. That's crockermovingservices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move.
All right, when we come back, more on Ty Simpson, the Alabama offense, and college football next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 8:53, Tuesday, December 9th, right here on Jocks. A couple of you chiming in on our discussion around Ty Simpson, and some folks maybe feel like he needs to be out. Pearl guy tweets in at Mac and Cube, didn't three Bama receivers drop a ball that hit him in the hands in the end zone Saturday? I'm not going to be mad at the Jeremy Bernard one because that was tipped right before it got to him. That changes.
That was a tough one.
That you can't ask a guy to definitively catch that ball. That would have been tough.
Would have been a great catch.
I'm not going to. Brad Chandler tweets in, not to make excuses. Ty made two great throws. Wide receiver simply missed. That would have been six. Yes, there are people suggesting it's time to see what the future holds. Totally clown take. Emoji elephant. Gary would like to chime in on Ty Simpson. Welcome into the show, Gary.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing great, thank you.
What's up, my friend?
Good, good. Listen, man, I was saying earlier, like some things I don't agree with what Greg be saying, but today he is spot on, man, especially about Ty Simpson. I've been watching the game, and like it's something I've observed. We became one-dimensional, and yet here we are. We're in a 12-team playoff with a chance at redemption, knocking off Oklahoma, and an ultimate opportunity to go shut the smack talkers up in Indiana. For shouting out some of the fans talking about we want Bama early on, but that's neither here nor there. We played some exceptional ball. Ty's played some exceptional ball. Man, and I remember even I was standing right there when we played Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa when that first that pick six. I was standing right in the line of that ball, and I saw his face. I was like, man. And again, you got kickers, you got all that kind of stuff. So basically, again, Ty's been carrying the load. Obviously, it's a 11-man game whenever we're on the field, and no one man can do it all himself. But that guy, I mean, my hat is off to him. I'm reinforced as an Alabama fan, man, and I just like the guy because one, he stuck with the program even when he could have left a long time ago. That's one thing he did. He stayed committed. And I think he's committed to the process. So, man, hats off to you guys, especially for the stats, man. I was pleasantly surprised at the stats you pulled out about, catch, drop percentage, hits, sacks, all that kinds of stuff. And yet here we are again. So, man, hats off to you guys. Keep doing it, man. Thank you.
I was hoping you'd go in more of the things that he doesn't agree with Greg on a daily basis. Lance Barton shares a post from the Bama Factor. 12 days, 9 practices to get Austin, Macker, Keel, and Russell ready for Norman. What are we doing? Y'all watch the games, right? Like, did you watch the games?